feel like I feel like I'm in a cartoon.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, we're not in a cartoon?
We are in a cartoon.
Oh, okay. I got really worried there. I thought it was in the wrong place. I thought this was definitely
We're in
a
a
cartoon.
claymation cartoon.
There you go.
That's right.
Stop motion.
Will Vinton.
There we go.
All right, guys, this is our very first episode of The Frenzy as opposed to Toy Frenzy. I'm excited.
There's still a place for toys around, but it's a little less toy-centric, right?
Yeah.
No toys talk at all. No toy talk at all tonight.
Oh, shit.
Just kidding. We can't not talk toys.
Gotta talk toys.
It's
Besides,
just
I don't have
different topics. That's all it is for the frenzy portion.
Right?
That's right.
I don't have a new sticker to relabel the cup for this episode, so we gotta have a little bit of toy.
That's true. We don't have the frenzy stickers yet, but everybody, look over here. Oz created a new logo for The Frenzy, which is right there for you all to see. Pretty cool.
Yep.
And we can't go on any further without acknowledging the mastermind behind this, Bobby. Bobby,
and that's gonna suck tonight. They're like, we'll never watch one of these episodes again.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh, whatever.
As soon as Bobby messaged us all in the group, at least for me, I was like, of course, like, duh, like, holy shit, of course that makes sense. So yeah, Bobby, thank you for this.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do something a little different once in a while, on the show instead of the same toy talk over and over. So
makes sense to me.
Yeah, we all have different interests as well, so
it's true. Sometimes we go beyond just toys.
Yep.
We might talk about music. We might talk about Hellboy. We might talk about Christmas trees. Probably not Christmas trees, but we'll talk about other things.
That would be great.
Get some Douglas firs going
it is
around
the
here.
first day of winter, so there you go.
Right?
Yeah. Which kind of pine do you prefer?
I'm a spruce kind of guy. I like spruce.
Yeah.
I like the spray aerosol type, not the liquid time.
I'm actually allergic to pine trees, so it's always really fun around Christmas.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
They're like,
they're
like, oh man, they are like my favorite kind of tree. And I had completely forgot I was allergic. Like back when my parents split, and after that, we didn't really do Christmas trees very often. My mom always did, artificial. And as time went on, that was just like the standard. Everybody was doing artificial trees. And the first year that Connor's mom had moved up here from Florida, we went to go put up her artificial tree that she had, but we couldn't find the stand. And so we're like, oh crap. I was like, well, let's get a live tree. Let's go. Let's do this. Actually, we went to Home Depot to look for an artificial stand. They didn't have any because it was like just about a week before Christmas. And I was like, oh crap. Well, we got to go live. So we ended up buying a new tree stand, picked out a tree, got all the lights and everything right there while we were at Home Depot. Spent way more than we probably could have afforded at the time, but we had to do it. Get back and I'm holding up the tree and I'm standing up and I'm starting to itch like crazy. And I thought it was like the shirt I was wearing or something, right? So then I take off my shirt while I'm doing everything, which really did not help the situation.
Right.
Made it so
you lost your protection. Yeah.
And then after I finally got the tree straight and I was sitting back and I'm looking down, that's just like broken out all over my body. And I'm like, what the hell? And all of these memories as a kid of my dad being like, stop touching the tree while he I'm trying to help him and he's yelling at me to stop because I'm allergic to the damn trees. I'd completely forgotten about all that. Totally forgot. But that was why he didn't want me to help set up the tree. It was he didn't want me to get around it because he knew I was just going to break out and itch like crazy. Wow. So yeah, then I remembered that and I was like, oh crap. I'm allergic to Christmas trees. So that's a thing. And it's funny, for as much time as I spend in the woods and love being out in nature, the fact that I'm allergic to pine trees, which is one of my favorite types of tree, I will never climb one, that's for sure. But they always got weak branches to climb anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You gotta get I was gonna say Christmas cactus. A Christmas cactus.
Yeah.
Just deck the cactus with boughs of holly.
I think you can go with a Norfolk pine because I don't think they're actually pine trees.
Oh, that might be the way to do it.
Yeah, that's a try that out.
Pine trees that are not pine trees. That's the way to
go. Norfolk pine.
I'll just cut down people's holly trees and bring them in the house. Randomly go around, cut people's holly trees down and be like, yes, here's my tree. They're like, what happened to that holly tree we had out front? Because I would never, ever, ever commit to any type of delinquency, like cutting down somebody's tree.
No delinquency here.
No, I would never, ever do such a thing.
I just leaned next to it and it fell down. I don't know what the hell happened.
I was standing here and the wind was blowing hard and I said, I ought to help this tree. And then the wind just pushed and blew the other way and knocked it all down.
So, well, we know that Oz doesn't have a Christmas tree because he's allergic. Bobby, Adam, you guys got Christmas trees up?
Not this year. No.
Fake one, yeah.
Yeah, fake one. Us too, fake one.
Yeah.
What's better? I don't know what's actually better, having a fake one or having a real one. I don't know what's actually better
like the
for
fake ones.
the world.
I like real ones, but I don't like putting them up. Like if I could like trick somebody else into setting it up for me, then I prefer real. But
yeah.
There you go, Moss Man.
Yeah, are you allergic to Moss Man, Oz?
Let's see if I break out. I'm gonna see if I break out now. No, we still put up a live tree. Like at my aunt's house, we put a live tree every year. Just don't touch it.
Oh,
yeah.
Does the new one smell? Probably not, huh?
No, he doesn't smell like pine. He smells like tea tree oil, which is not the same.
Right.
Mine didn't even really.
It's a nice
like
smell
that anymore.
Yeah.
It's really
completely lost his scent.
Well, let's say
just
hello
go
to
find a
everybody
really big bag of weed and throw them in there and let them smell like that.
Oh, you could do that, yeah. Well, shall we say hello?
I mean, my Moss Man's gonna be dank.
We got a delay, I think.
Oh, we might.
I think
we have a little. I think we have a delay, but that's
there's a little bit of a delay.
How do you deal with that? Go out and come in?
Are we good?
Yeah. Should I go out and come in, or
it's so
where's
quiet.
the delay coming from? I can't tell where it's coming from. It doesn't matter.
I have no idea.
Shall we go to the chat? I think it's definitely Oz. I think Oz, exit and come back in. We'll go through the chat when you get back in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-second delay there.
Wow.
Oh no, Oz, are we losing you? Okay. All right.
Okay. You just got that.
He's got the child-proof stuff on his computer, so when something bad happens, he cuts it off. No swearing, no nudity.
Well, let's go through the chat. We've got JMax77 here. Great to see you. Honor U83. Great to see you here. Eternian Ellipse. Clifton. Fantastic to see you. Speaking Moistly. Always good to see you here. Ronald Embry's here as always. Fantastic. Cobweb, awesome to see you here. Cobb's back into the toy review game after a little bit of a break, and I'm loving your videos, Cobb. Joe's here. Great to see you, Joe. Duchess, of course, as always. Fantastic to see you here.
Happy
Ace,
holidays.
Happy holidays. Ace, great to see you. Thanos, oh man, great to see you, Thanos. Kenzo's Creations is here. Fantastic. Bud is here. Bud starts off right away with the comments. Aaron Payne's Toy Samples is here. Great to see you. And Mike Fee is here. Merry Christmas, Mike. Adam Odell is here. Great to see you, Adam. Yes, go wait. And John, figuratively speaking, is here. Great to see you. Awesome. Oh, and Jamie Sanders. Great to see you, Jamie. Fantastic for you to pop in. Adam is asking, what was the toy of the year for us? And that's a really good question. I haven't even thought about it, although I have a pretty good idea. How about you guys?
Well, I don't know. Shouldn't we talk about that on the New Year's episode when we're coming down to the big countdown next week?
I don't know. Who knows? What if the world ends before next week and we don't get to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll take off next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really can't say what's toy of the year this year. There's a lot of really good stuff.
Well, the funny thing is I haven't really bought anything this year, but the toy of the year for me is that Mondo Trapjaw.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's the cake right there for me.
Yeah.
And
I haven't gotten a lot. I've got a lot of new stuff. Other than for me, my connections. I think. Can you guys hear me okay, or am I delayed now?
We can hear you fine, and you don't seem to. You're just a little pixelated, but you're not.
For me, I'm going to go with Yondara from Legends of Dragonor.
Oh yeah, that's
solid.
Good.
Really good pick.
How about you, Oz?
Maybe I need to go out and come in.
Okay.
I'll just go out.
1 sec.
I've got a couple that I haven't opened yet that I'm still waiting to open this weekend. That I'm really excited about. But
I know which one. I know one of them.
There's like 4 of them I've been sitting on now. So
that's gotta be painful.
Oh,
yeah,
it definitely
tough,
is.
man.
It hurts. It's a little sore on my butt, but no, you know what was really cool this year that I picked up that I really enjoyed was the Scourge from Cosmic Legions, the Whiplash homage.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Cool.
I really like that. That's my first figure of like that scale too, where it's like 13-inch. It's massive. Love them big boys.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good year for toys. I mean, the Origins Snake Mountain is pretty amazing.
That's place set of the year right there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a
Slayer,
really good. Yeah,
but people don't own that. This right here, it was like everything that the vintage gave us, and then more, and made certain things better. Like the snake on this one, I think is just a lot better. Having an actual interior to play around with is really nice.
Yeah.
Definitely that was playset of the year. It's a really good pick. I wasn't even thinking playsets.
It's a good one. I mean, and then also, David Motu Origins Cork got me the couple of creatures from the Black Lagoon. This is the black and white one. And that's, I mean, just that NECA made such a fantastic rendition of this character is really cool. What makes him different from most of the other ones is that you can't really see his joints because of the scales and the flaps, and that's a really good figure. And then I don't know, there's just a lot. And Slush Head, it's really hard to pick.
Right?
There
was so much good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's bringing up another one of my favorites from this past year, the Monkey King. Like that figure is phenomenal. Just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the pictures look good. I haven't held it in my hand, but the pictures look good of that figure, for sure.
Next time I'll have to bring it down whenever we at Frenzy Con, at Toy Frenzy Con, Frenzy Con and Fargo. I'll bring it so you can play around with it a little bit.
Yeah, we figured out that Fargo is pretty close to the geographic center of the United States, so. Hashtag Fargo Frenzy Con 2029.
Give us a few years to build up to it.
That's right. It's going to be a few years. Fargo Frenzy Con, and in honor of the Fargo movie and the Fargo television series, and toys and us, and it'll be during the summer, so and so it won't be snowed in. Yeah, well,
Man, that was
that's
half the fun.
Great premise for a movie, though. A toy con that gets snowed in.
There you go.
The convention center gets totally snowed in. All the geeks are stuck in there together. What happens? That would be a good.
Toys
movie.
come to life, start killing people.
There you go.
And you know, Fargo Frenzy Con is a great name for a movie too. I'm typing in the.
I already got it.
Oh, did you do it already?
I did it.
Oh, hey, Carol, great to see you.
Fargo Frenzy Con.
Fargo Frenzy Con.
We're gonna make it happen.
Thanks, Oz. Yeah.
We're gonna save pennies a day. All Patreon money will go to Fargo Frenzy Con.
1 penny a day.
By the end of the day, we'll have $3.65.
That's right.
That's right.
Ooh, next year we get an extra day. So there we go, guys.
Ooh, have to get a pop.
That's it.
You can get yourself a soda pop, and
we'll get 1 Motel 6 by the side of the road, and everybody has to crowd into that one room.
That's right.
Just a single
One
bedroom.
room.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're gonna change the name then to Fargo COVID Frenzy Con.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That's what we're changing the name to.
Well, now nobody's coming. That's great.
Yeah.
It'll be a virtual con. That's what it'll be, a virtual experience.
Yeah. Well, pipe dreams aside, that sounds amazing. Tonight we're going to be talking about stop motion animation, and I know. I mean, I can speak for myself, but I know that you all feel the same way, just because of our previous conversations. But stop motion is essentially, like, for me, it's watching toys move. And I think that's why I've always loved it so much, is that that 3-dimensionality, seeing this thing that would otherwise be on a shelf actually move in real space is really cool. But before we jump into that conversation, anybody have anything else they want to share?
Well, what are you guys excited about this week?
Yeah, that's a good one.
The weekend.
Oh my God. This week has been a week. Yeah.
Well, this week was all right. Last week was a doozy, but this week was all right.
Yeah,
feeling
Bobby,
better,
you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing
good.
good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I had COVID, if nobody knows, but I had that for almost 2 weeks, and it was rough.
No Rona.
Crawled out of hell, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It was rough. Don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, it's awful.
But I'm doing better.
You sound better. You sound good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you sound suave, a little gravelly.
Well,
it's good.
I'm practicing for my final episode for Decker. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
oh man,
I can't say enough. Like, how cool it is that you didn't let you still are plowing through and still giving us the Decker Northcutt episodes, even though you felt ill for a week there. I mean, I can't commend you enough, Bobby.
Thank you.
You're making us all real happy with that stuff.
I hope everybody enjoys it if they listen to it. But tomorrow's the new episode. I might as well talk about it. The new episode's tomorrow. It's the last episode before the finale. The finale will be next weekend, and some stuff gets revealed tomorrow. So
I can't wait.
Totally.
If anybody watching this is not already subscribed to Bobby Dangerously's channel, definitely subscribe and check out those episodes. You can catch up in an afternoon,
right?
And it's like it's straight out of like the old timey noir radio shows. And it's got supernatural elements. It's amazing. and it's so much fun. So yeah.
To me, it's just like sitting down, listening to like old radio serial, and like, again, because it's weekly. Last week I really, really missed having the new episode when I went to my lunch, kind of thing. Like, I was just like, oh.
Well, I couldn't record it. I was like, Doug, like this, so it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would have thrown the entire.
Yeah, that
thing
would work
off
though.
Yeah,
it could work. It could work.
Yeah, for noir. Yeah.
But
yeah, this episode is narrated by Tom Waits.
The dame was all legs.
Just I love that it always comes out on my break on Fridays. So like when I sit down to eat lunch, I go ahead and make myself, a sandwich or whatever I'm having for lunch that day. I eat it, I start listening to it. Afterwards, I go have like my smoke while I still got time left, and it's like that perfect length of time. I just get to listen to it and chill on my lunch break every Friday.
I appreciate that. I'm happy you guys pushed me into doing something because I really enjoy doing this, and I'm excited because I get to finish it next week. So I finally complete something. Yeah,
written out. How long is it? Like, is it like a novella or a short story or?
I have to look at I got them all separate. Each episode I've written separately, but I don't know. It's pretty short. I think it just seems longer because it's spoken word compared to reading.
Sure.
I don't have to go into too much detail when I'm reading. So, but yeah, it's I don't know, maybe 10 pages. I don't know. Well, maybe it's probably down. I bet you it's longer than that. It has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be cool to at Fargo Frenzy Con, 29. We'll have the first Deckard Northcutt novella out, so we can share that with the Frenzynauts.
Yeah. Oh, and I
the
can't wait to
graphic
get that
novel.
story over to you, Skelly, so you can do the narration of it.
Yeah,
part of that Northcutt universe versions.
I'm excited.
And the character's in this next episode tomorrow again, so it's very subtle. It's not a lot of detail to the character yet, but you'll have the story to speak about him, and he has a major part in the story in the future.
Nice.
For those of you that don't know, I don't even know what character I'm going to be playing. I have an idea, but Bobby's not telling me. It's just it's like top secret episode of The Mandalorian. No one knows. It's like better yet, it's like Mark Hamill not knowing the script reveal in The Empire Strikes Back before it goes out there on the set, right? Yeah. I'm excited. I'm real excited.
Cool.
I hope I can do a good job.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, you'll do good. You'll be fine. If not, I'll just trash it and I'll just do it myself.
just smack me.
You got to do the whole thing
here and smack me.
do like a 1930s newspaper man voice, like, "Hey, Mr. Decker, I got a real scoop here."
Well, I told you that I'm having everybody do a story. So if you want me to do one, you're more than welcome to.
Just gonna start using the old nomenclature too, and be like, "I got some real hot dick for you." And then everybody's like, "Wait a minute, you can't say that on YouTube." It's like, that's a big now.
Extra. Yeah.
Well, thanks for spending all this time on my show. I appreciate that.
No, everybody's got to go over and subscribe and start listening if they haven't already. I mean, get over there, folks.
Agreed.
What's the hold?
I'm gonna bring up.
Get over there.
I'm bringing up Bobby's page right now. I want to see like 4 new subscribers tonight. If you're not already subscribed, I'm checking it.
There you go.
Keeping tabs on it.
Always subscribe and listen if you like it. I don't.
Just subscribe. Like we've seen, if you don't like it, you're still subscribed and you're still watching it. It helps. But yeah, get on over there, folks. I just, I'm going to take this moment to say, like, it's so cool that Duchess, is continuing to put out her episodes. Yep. It's so cool that Cobweb is doing his thing. I mean, so many folks that watch this show and contribute to the show and contribute to the chat and are doing stuff out there. And
That's great.
I freaking love it. I can't even mention all of them because everybody's doing something creative, and it's very cool. In fact, if you're folks, if you're in the chat, you can pretty much click on any one of these people's names and see that they're out there making stuff and making content. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
It is.
Thanos is blaming you, Oz.
Yeah, that's kind of how that worked. And several other people too. But what I like to say here is that we inspire people. But like, if this group of idiots can get on here and do this, anybody can. That's why I think like so many people blame me. They go, well, if this guy can do it.
Yeah, well, it's because you're out and about and you're doing the work, you're doing the legwork, and that's awesome. You're inspiring people.
If you look back at a year ago compared to now, look how much everybody that's been in the chat since then are doing stuff nowadays than compared to back then.
So true.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
We have this amazing community around us, and gotta love it.
Yeah. All it takes is just the initiative to just take that risk. Taking that risk is the scariest part.
Yeah, look how long it took me to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much easier to sort of be the observer.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a whole other level of exciting to be involved.
There's no feel of failing if you just watch compared to try.
Yeah, that's our fear avoidance, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not out to get followers or watches and stuff. I just want to do it just to do it.
If anybody's if anybody's getting into it to be the next Pixel Dan or the next who knows, like if you're getting into it for those reasons, you're getting into it for the wrong reasons. And
that's right.
I think Pixel Dan would even vouch for that. It's like he started because he was passionate, and it's just has worked out that he's got a lot of followers. But he's been doing it for a long time. I mean,
yeah, he has.
That's a real, a very long time. That's a real investment of time and passion. And
that's the thing, you're not going to get thousands and thousands of subs right away. You got to get your name out there.
Right.
And
you got to be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stick-to-itiveness is the word, right?
That's just like when I was in a band back in the days. We play little small clubs. We've been playing for 6 months. We should be doing arenas right now. There's just no way.
I mean, that's winning the lottery. So most folks aren't doing arenas until they've really put in the time, if they even get to that stage.
Exactly.
But just the problem
just
is
don't do KISS bullshit with the avatar crap that they're doing. Sorry.
What is that? That's like it's like
I've just seen it. Kiss Forever now.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I also, that's interesting though, because there's like there's bands. Oh, so I just heard a rumor that the band The Hives, the Hives?
Yeah.
They're doing this thing, and I at first I was like, whoa, that's weird. But then I thought that's kind of amazing. They are potentially franchising The Hives. So that means they're gonna.
How rock and roll is that?
I think it's.
I mean, really, how rock and roll is that?
I think it's crazy. Who would even think of such a thing? So I got to admire the balls of that idea, but I have mixed feelings about it.
ABBA's done something like that too.
Yeah, ABBA's done it.
But that's ABBA,
Hey, you know what I mean? You get to a certain age.
Go ahead, Skelly. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, I brought it up before. Like, I mean, that I'd not heard of, but Leonard Skinner, right? Like the group Leonard Skinner is at this point just a Leonard Skinner cover band. There are no more original members to the band.
So, like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
To me, that's kind of like franchising.
Yeah,
because
Paul
like
Stanley said that years ago, where he's like, yeah, anybody could be in the makeup. It'll still be Kiss. And I'm like, no, you can't just put people in makeup and charge them for an actual Kiss show when you're not really Kiss.
You can't
that bugs the hell
charge
out of me. Right.
Yeah, you can't charge the same prices. So I think there's got to be a kind of differentiation. You can still have the fun of going to see this cover band.
Yeah.
Like Be the Hives. I mean, because they put on pretty spectacular live shows. Like to go see it in a club as opposed to having to pay the high prices to go see them at a bigger theater. But I mean, it's crazy. Who knows?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to rant on that Kiss thing.
No, that's okay.
Well, I've been a Kiss fan since I was like 7 years old.
Well, don't get me started with that. I can't even. We saw Kiss without Peter and without Ace, and it's just not the same for me. Our kids enjoyed it because they hadn't seen Peter.
But I mean, it was still Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, though. You know what I mean? But now it's
not the same. I'm a huge Ace fan, so it's like you gotta have Ace.
Ace is awesome, right? Yeah, I get that. But I mean, it's still a rock and roll band. That's what you're going for, not we're going to turn this into a corporation now type of deal. I mean, they've been a corporation anyway, but it's just.
Well, it reminds me of those Crypt toys.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Fail.
Yeah,
what a fail. They even look like
I can't.
Probably the same guys.
Ramones. I can't get on board with that. What I mean, it's avatars of a thing that you're used to holding or you're used to going to see. Yeah, that's right, Adam. That's a really cool first concert to have on your roster. Mine was Sha Na Na, but so it wasn't the Ramones, but it was Sha Na Na, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to see Ramones 4 times, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, you're a lucky boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But where was I going? What were we talking? Oh yeah. Computer animated avatars of things that you're used to experiencing in the real world.
What they should have done is done stop motion with the old Kiss Mego figures, and then maybe that'll be something. At least it's historic.
At least it would have a vintage.
You like that
segue
that I just did?
Very good.
Way to bring it back.
Very good segue. Stop motion fever. Shall we jump into the slides? Because I got a bunch of slides here.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
And we only have Adam for a short period of time tonight, so we want to get
glue off most of that. Sorry, Adam.
That's all right.
I had to go on one of our old man rants because it was deserved.
Yeah, we love to go on our old man rants. Hey, look at Ace, and people are subscribing to each other now that we've been talking about it. People are subscribing to Cobb. You better be subscribing to Bobby Dangerously. And yes, that's right, Adam. I'm gonna switch places and put Adam up there. All right. So I kind of tried to go in chronological order.
Wow. Look at this guy.
I know. I got out of work early today because of the holiday, and I came home and was like, you know what? I'll put some slides together. What was that?
I bet you missed the first one too. I bet. I'm just curious.
Probably.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah? Did I do good?
Yeah.
Can any of you guys name this animator?
Whoa.
No, I can't.
This is the Land of the Lost, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, we all know what this one is.
Yeah.
This is Kong.
Yeah. I used to own that Land of the Lost on the video.
Yeah. That was a good one. It's one of my favorite to watch as a kid.
That's where they got that version of the second movie from what's those stupid movies? Jurassic Park.
Right.
Land of the Lost was like the original storyline of that.
Yeah, the Willis O'Brien was the gentleman that he got the job to do King Kong from this film that he made.
That's a good one.
And it just like it blew the minds of the movie studio guys. And Adam, you win this one anyways. It's like Ken O'Brien. You got O'Brien
I was gonna say you got O'Brien. That was a lot closer than I was thinking.
J-Mac. Oh, sorry. Yeah, J-Mac lizard snacking in the park. Have you? So yeah, exactly. It's very romantic.
Don't go look up that actual film.
Yeah, it's Makeout Point right there. You can see the city behind the
mountains. Central Park. That's Central Park behind them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right. Which they do bring the dinosaurs to New York. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I watched this movie 200 times as a kid.
King Kong.
Yeah, King Kong. It was amazing to me. There's nothing quite like it. Yeah, that's right, Ace. Definitely. Yeah, Green Jello. Right? Oh my gosh, Joe.
I freaking love that video.
About that. All right, I got some obscure things in here, but I did not get any images of Green Jello. But we'll get there.
Rambo.
We'll get to the 80s and 90s in a bit. But yeah, oh my gosh. Bobby, what's your feelings about Green Jello? Because I have very strong feelings about Green Jello.
I don't have green. I'm more of a cherry Jello than a green Jello. No, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really. I remember the song being on MTV at that time when it came out.
Yeah,
I don't even remember it. Tell you the truth.
I feel like I was very lucky in that I knew that Green Jello, or as they became known as Green Jelly, was a ripoff of Guar's concepts, except a more cartoony version.
Right.
And I don't know how do we even know this stuff back then? Like music magazines or whatever, but like,
well, it was on TV. Like I said, it was on MTV a lot. The video,
yeah,
I remember
the Three Little Pigs video.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that was how I found them. Was that video?
Yeah.
I was like, "Who are these guys?"
Well, you know, like you were saying, how you find this stuff. Like I always went to record stores and I always looked through punk albums.
Oh yeah,
I always went to the punk section. It was all labeled. That's how I found a lot of bands. That's how I found Guar originally. The first album, the Hello album, when it came out in '88. It was in the punk rock section. I bought the cassette.
Another band that utilized stop motion animation was Primus.
Yes.
And I forgot to include Primus in here too. But
Frizzle Fry.
I didn't even. Yeah, Frizzle Fry. I mean that little all kinds of stuff. The Sailing the Seas of Cheese album cover is all claymation, all miniatures. The
cool thing is we were all hip to that shit when it came out. So.
Yeah. Because we had stuff like, I'm gonna skip ahead here. We had, we grew up with this, and we grew up with Gumby and Mr. Bill and Will Vinton. I mean, okay,
you're like whipping through this stuff, man.
I know. Let me go back.
Is that it? That's the show.
So there we go.
We're all done.
Crunch for time.
Wow.
But I mean, this was that kind of movie magic for us, right? Because I mean, Star Wars came in with like a newer practical effect for a lot of things.
Well, they did have play animation on the chess set.
They did. They did on that.
Yeah.
The Rancor, Tauntaun, like parts of that were done claymation or stop motion. But I mean, like, they were the ones that kind of revolutionized the big how we saw the modern movie, and that like changed everything. But before that, like, this is how you brought dinosaurs to life.
This was a good
they were Star Wars piggybacked off of Ray Harryhausen. They just like walked right off of that small little, that's the technology that was developed by Harryhausen and other people like him, and they just entered into this new territory right away. And without Harryhausen and Willis O'Brien. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Oh, I was thinking where the Tauntauns in some shots stop motion too.
Yes.
From Empire. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the I didn't include images of that either. But stop motion was used for the ATs and the
The walkers,
tauntauns and the
chicken walkers.
ATSTs. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
walkers.
They were. I just watched and I think I must have seen this documentary like 2 or 3 times, but I just watched it again. They were gonna do like blue screen and then shoot footage of the the tundra, but they just had. I mean, that whole sequence, most of that sequence where you see the AT-ATs walking and the tauntauns and stuff, all those backgrounds are painted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so much of that is just pure art,
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Alice in Chains, yeah. There you go. Thanks, Joe. And Harryhausen's
Bad movies.
work is just I sort of discovered him right after indulging in King Kong and Universal Monsters and stuff, and man,
Well, Clash of the Titans was big for us when we were kids. So.
Oh yeah. Well, and the Sinbad movies were also like huge and amazing.
Yeah.
Now it's funny with that Cyclops monster that you just showed. So earlier tonight there was a new show that's come out on YouTube, which is the Legion Ladies. So it's a bunch of the women within like the Cabal and the Legion community got together and they're doing their own show, and they were showing off some trolls tonight. And one of the ones that they did was this right here. That like somebody made a custom action figure of this. Now it's so cool, right? Because again, like to us, this is like when you're a kid and you see these things, it's like these are your toys brought to life kind of deal.
Right.
And it's just like, could you imagine like having this toy as a kid? And
no,
oh man, he would have like wrecked havoc on everything.
Yeah,
I would have loved
if it looked just like that. Like they produced
amazing.
it good. Yeah, it would be great.
I mean, this is why
I remember.
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
So I was just gonna say, there was this kid I visited his house, and he showed me, he made a home video. It was just stop motion of all of his He-Man figures. He stop motioned them all. Of course, they were limited articulation.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so cool. And when I first saw these pictures of Harryhausen with these sculptures from Clash of the Titans, I was really surprised at the size of these.
Right? How big they have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the puppets are pretty big. You don't realize it.
Yeah.
They look small on screen, but yeah, they're pretty big. Just like the Muppets too. I mean, if you think about the Muppets, you think they're small, like hand size. They're actually like adult size.
Yeah.
Characters,
how big they have to be for some of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the funniest stories I ever heard about that was oh man, who was it? I forget who was telling me about it, but they were getting a tour, like the Sesame Street studio and stuff. And like where they had to store stuff, like some of it they stored up in the rafters, and like Snuffleupagus fell down out of the rafters. Could you imagine how scary it'd be to see this giant Snuffleupagus?
Hello, bird.
Hey, Snuffy.
There he is. Hey, bird. How you doing, bird?
I mean, for me, this was just beautiful. This is pure beauty.
Yes.
Magic and beauty.
Yeah, like Pegasus goes flying with the galloping, it's awesome.
It was so cool.
Again, it was just pure magic as a kid watching these and seeing this come to life. And and it made a big impact too, because if you guys have watched The Mandalorian, there was that somebody calls it like the sand kraken or something, but they said straight away that like its design was influenced off of the Kraken, from Clash of the Titans, and it had that Ray Harryhausen influence.
And it even looks like it's stop motion, like the movements, like they really it was like an homage to Harryhausen.
Full homage.
Yeah.
And it made me very happy.
Oh, I loved it. Like the moment I saw it, I was like, no shit.
Yeah, no shit, exactly.
Hey guys, I
thought,
gotta jump off here.
all right,
All right,
Adam.
Yeah,
Great to
it
have
was,
you
it was
here,
good to catch
buddy.
up with you just briefly. Have a great rest of your
Yeah.
show, guys.
You too.
All right,
Adam,
all right.
first,
Holidays.
real quick, what was your first
Yeah.
stop motion film?
It was probably was it the Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That was
That's
we
it.
watched that every year for always
Yeah.
when we were kids. Yeah, it was great.
Phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Have a Merry Christmas,
All
brother.
right. Merry Christmas,
Merry
guys.
Christmas, Adam.
Yeah.
Yep. Take care.
All right, have a good one.
This next one is not stop motion, but I had to throw it in here because at least for me, it evoked the same kind of feeling, and I was totally obsessed with these. But the ViewMaster, the three-dimensional ViewMaster,
Oh, yeah.
photographs that were basically toy photography.
Right.
And I like going through images today. It just really took me back to that same sort of feeling that I got from watching stop
I never
motion
had
animation.
any of that before.
Yeah, I had a ViewMaster, and I
had a ViewMaster, but I didn't have this type here. I had like Star Wars or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had a HeMan one.
Did you?
You had the HeMan one?
Of course, I had the
Nice.
HeMan one. That was my jam. And then, bought other slides to go with it. I know I definitely had a dinosaur one as too, because I was like huge into dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those were photographed like little toy photos too.
Yep. Carol, which other ones did we have? You might remember.
Yeah, she'll chime in with the ones. But yeah, I had to throw this one in there. Hey, Largo's Lair.
Good to see you, Jim.
Wind in the Willows.
Wind in the Willows. Right. I think I first saw this on PBS.
Probably.
Or
I saw this in school.
And maybe in school, yeah.
I loved it though.
Me too.
This day is one of my favorites.
I still like the cartoon version of Mr. Toad, but
yeah, well, there's who it's like it's a masterpiece. Yeah. And it's usually paired with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the same film, right? Yeah.
Right.
Same film.
Yeah, it's all together.
But this one, it was the first time I could tell that it wasn't clay, and it wasn't. You could tell that these were like little rubber puppets, which was kind of cool.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah. Oz, what was your first stop motion film?
My very first one was probably, I would have to say it was probably Rudolph. Like that was the first one I think I remember watching being really, really small. But my dad had a lot of the Ray Harryhausen stuff recorded on VHS. So all the Sinbad movies we had, and I used to watch those on repeat. And Jason and the Argonauts, of course, like that was huge. It's probably one of the reasons why I like skeletons and monsters so much, because it was just so cool to have those. But it was like, and again, it wasn't the like the official, we went out and we bought it. Like everybody talks about piracy, like it was a new thing. No, we recorded that stuff straight off the TV back in the day. My dad had it hooked up so that we could just hit record and then we had it, right?
With the commercials, yes.
Well, back in the day, they would it was a special thing, they put a movie on, it'd be like a special night. Record those,
Oh yeah.
I remember when Star Wars came out and it was on TV, and you were able to tune into a radio station and listen to it over the speakers.
Oh man,
that's so cool.
I mean, talk about old ways of doing it,
Yeah.
It was like instead of I remember the commercials, like you can hear it like this, or you can hear it like this,
surround sound
4.7 or whatever it was, back in the day.
That's so cool.
ULS Chicago.
Did you guys ever go when The Creature from the Black Lagoon first premiered on it was Action Theater back when I was a kid. It was Action Theater on Channel 26. And when they advertised it a week ahead of time, and you could go to Long's Drugs or Thrifty or one of those stores and get your 3D glasses.
So they that with you too, because Fenguli did that in 1979, I think it was.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And we had to go. We went to the 7-Eleven to get our glasses.
Yeah.
I remember that, and it was a big failure because it didn't really work too well. You had some of the fish that swam by, and it was okay, but it's notorious for not being well received. I remember
it was not great, but
that was Revenge of the Creature. That was the second one, the second movie.
Yeah, it was the novelty was great though.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been a Fenguli fan ever since. That's how I got exposed to him back then. And
yeah, that's cool.
History.
Carol is responding. She says the Disney ones.
Yeah,
cool.
I thought, I do remember stuff like the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that you just had up there, but I know we probably had some other ones too.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely Ace. Large Marge, amazing.
Right? What a great scene, though. That whole scene there with the old guy at the restaurant.
Just a phenomenal movie. Period.
Yeah,
it's a masterpiece
in it too.
Yep,
that's right. All right, then we move on to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is still to this day like one of my favorite achievements.
It's great.
It's amazing.
I don't care who you are, you end up loving this one.
Yeah, there's no way to not. If you do not like this, let us know in the chat. It'd be very interesting conversation. I've never met anybody that didn't like it.
Right.
And for me, it was all about Bumble, man. It was all about this abominable
Bumble
snowman.
and Yukon.
I was gonna say Yukon was the man walking around with a friggin' gun. He wasn't afraid to pull it out and use it either.
So cool.
He's like, bam.
Yeah, he's crazy. But yeah, this is great stuff.
Santa Claus is an asshole in this, though.
He totally.
I mean, and out of all the, you always think Santa's this nice guy. I mean, he's a jack off in this movie.
Yeah, he really is. He really
don't want that loser deer. He's not up to snuff.
Right.
Oh, and Rudolph's dad too is a bit of a jerk. You know,
they're all jerks.
Notice it was the dudes, right? And I think that's a really smart move. In making this, like these guys are set in their ways, anything weird, unacceptable, and they had it handed to them.
Why weren't you at elf practice? I love that guy.
That's good. You did good. A good imitation of that.
Hermy wants to be a dentist.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the dentist. Wow, Conan O'Brien, right? I mean, he's basically Conan O'Brien. That's awesome. They're all great. In fact,
those Christmas specials.
Another Rankin Bass masterpiece is Mad Monster Party.
Phyllis Diller.
Phyllis Diller, Boris Karloff. Come on. So cool. Team Hermy, that's right.
Yeah, Team Hermy.
I love it. Yeah, Island of Misfit Toys hits me in the feels too, Largo.
Yeah, see, everybody's like knocked off. No one loves them, and no one fits in, and everybody thinks you're an idiot if you don't fit in, and it's amazing.
Sounds
we all know that
feeling. Community, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments from Mad Monster Party is the band.
Yeah.
The 60s.
Beatles
just always reminded me of like the Grateful Dead, right? They always have all the skeletons on all their,
I'm not a big Grateful Dead fan, but I do like that video and that song's not too bad either with the skeletons.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
And this band's totally just making fun of that, like the hairstyles of the time,
right?
Well, you look at a lot of 60s cartoons and stuff. They did a lot of that with the cartoon, like the music like that too as well.
I love this. If I was in a band again, I think I'd try to find a way of stealing this and using it for something. I love this.
I mean, it's a HeMan and Skeletor mashup.
Skelly Skeletons.
Skelly. What was that band that me and my friends we came up with? It was like Tommy and the Four Fine Spines or something like that.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I love that. And then, of course, Gumby.
Yes, masterpiece.
Right?
Absolute masterpiece. And there are so many episodes.
Yes.
Imagine making all those and being so prolific and Sorry, Oz, what was that?
I was just gonna say I just used to love watching Gumby and Pokey and all the craziness of it.
Yeah, my friend, I had a friend in grade school. He was a big Gumby fan. He had their little rubber toy and he'd bring it to school all the time.
I think we had a Gumby at one point, but I know we definitely had a Pokey.
Is this like the Gumby evolutionary chart or something?
Yeah.
This is how they did him little, like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody, like any companies out there that want to make something interesting,
Gumby, damn it.
Make this. I'd love to have this on the shelf. Yes, not to be confused with the Eddie Murphy Gumby, that's for sure. Speaking of which, Saturday Night Live's Mr. Bill, I just love him.
I used to know the story behind that, but it was something like it was like an accident that they created this or something. I can't remember what it was.
I didn't know the story either.
It was something odd. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems plausible. It seems legit.
I think I don't want to be wrong, but I think I know a little bit, but I don't want to be wrong.
No. Put it out there because if we're wrong, we'll definitely find out the story.
Well, I think it was something like a comedian was supposed to try out for SNL, so he did like Mr. Bill instead, and he sent it in, and then it became like a thing for the show. It was just like
that sounds
Does
about
that sound right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think actually, not to plug Cambridge and Washon, but I'm totally going to. But there is an episode of Cambridge and Washon going back a few episodes where my co-host Mark, he talks about his obsession with Mr. Bill. Okay. And I think in that episode, I believe he does talk a little bit about the how that got started. And Bobby, that sounds pretty close.
It's close.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's completely correct, but it's something similar to that. Yeah. I love it though. It's hilarious.
Me too. He's basically just Play-Doh. He's not even like the plasticine.
Right. He doesn't have any of like the real wires or anything. It was just like, how much Play-Doh can we make stick together? And then
I love it.
It's classic though. It's classic. It's memorable. The Noid.
Yeah, that sort of leads us into the 80s with the rise of Will Vinton Studios and the Noid and California Raisins and the Mark Twain. What was that? The Journey of Mark Twain or something like that.
Right.
And the Siskel and Ebert dinosaurs. Do you guys remember those?
I don't remember that. No.
I don't remember it either, but that looks way too cool. And now I'm mad I didn't know about it.
There's a movie I think you can watch it on YouTube. It's called Best of the Festival of Claymation, and I believe it's hosted by those the Siskel and Ebert dinosaurs, which is really funny. But a really interesting event of my childhood was at I went to this little tiny elementary school up in the mountains, and someone must have known somebody, but one of the animators of the California Raisins brought an actual, screen used California Raisin to the school, and it just blew my mind seeing that little clay raisin.
Was it big or small?
It was about this big.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
The size of a 7-inch action figure.
Okay.
But yeah, just crazy. I don't know how that even happened. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, Ace. Tim Burton did do that for The Killers. That's cool. I should rewatch that. I hadn't seen that in a while.
Right.
Did you guys watch? The California Raisins were it was pure lunacy.
Yeah.
Like who develops this idea?
How
do we make raisins cooler? It's like
throw them through the 80s.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, I loved these guys. Like, I remember as a kid, like being really obsessed, having like the little toys of them and stuff like that. We had
Yeah.
like some of the books on tape with them. I really, really dug California Raisins. They were cool.
Yeah.
And like the little gum, the evil gum and everything that they had.
Yeah.
Like, stay away from that sugary gum. Yeah, that did.
That's right. Yeah, they were cool, and they were popular for a good like 2 years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
California Raisins, Festival of Claymation. Will Vinton was sort of like kicking ass in the 80s. And I think there's a documentary. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure there's a documentary about the rise and fall of Will Vinton Studios.
Right.
And it's kind of an interesting story.
This
leads me to
this is like one of those shock things, like
this is an Alice in Wonderland stop motion animation film by Jan Svankmajer. We briefly talked about Jan Svankmajer when we had Justin Rosh on. Talked about stop motion animation. This guy did these insane stop motion movies that combined live action and stop motion. And they were abstract, and they used found objects and terrifying surreal imagery. Wow. But yeah, Jan Svankmajer.
This will take me right back to Joe's comment earlier. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's true, Ace. Doug Jones was Mac Tonight. He was the moon guy.
Yeah. So this takes me kind of like right here to this Tools Sober video. If you guys haven't seen that,
for sure.
The truly abstract claymation.
The animation in Tools video probably wouldn't exist without Jan Svankmajer. He really developed this sort of super weird. He was the 80s as well. Super weird, surreal, disturbing stop motion animation. This is an amazing scene from one of his films too. There you go, Ace. Jan Svankmajer all the way. Yeah, if you want to spend an afternoon fueling strange dreams that you're going to have the following night, watch Jan Svankmajer movies.
I'm going to need to smoke something first, but I'll get on it.
I don't think you should, to be honest with you. I know that might cause, you know how the paranoia can come from that. This might just fuel. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to do that.
Might not be a good idea.
And that, transitions us to Nightmare Before Christmas. Like for me, it felt like this was the rebirth of stop motion animation.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was everywhere too.
Yep.
Well, because in the 90s, this definitely helped shape and progress and keep alive, because they showed like stop motion wasn't exactly dead. Right? Because around the same time, they were developing Jurassic Park, as we all know. Originally, all of the dinosaur scenes in Jurassic Park were supposed to be the latest and greatest of stop motion. And basically that got completely shut down when they showed a little bit more of what the computer could do. Even
which was kind of a real blow to Phil Tippett, who's one of the mastermind stop motion animators from
it was the Creature Studio, like Winston's Creature Studio he was working for.
What was the name of Lucasfilm? Why can't I remember? Industrial Light and Magic. He worked for Industrial Light and Magic.
Well, yeah, like what became Industrial Light and Magic, like around that time, right? And yeah, they were going to do everything stop motion. And it was like they were going to have the big animatronics, but like all the stuff with like the raptors and everything like that, you know, chasing them through the kitchen, that was all going to be done stop motion. But, you know, even the line that Ian Malcolm says, like, you know, he's like, "Don't you mean extinct?" That was actually because Phil Tippett said that about like, "Oh crap, I think we're out of a job."
Yeah. It was a breaking point. But you know, at the same time, you had this sort of renaissance of interest in stop motion that was fueled by Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Which also helped spawn a very underrated video game at that time too. There was this game that came out because of the popularity of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and the technology they used to film the actors and stuff for Mortal Kombat. Somebody realized you could do that with claymation, and they came out with a game called Clay Fighter. And actually, I'll bring up a little screenshot of that here of some of the just some of the animation or some of the character drawings, not so much the animation itself. But this was just a really, really fun fighting game to play. And like you could have the brutality and stuff of like Mortal Kombat without what was considered to be the big violence of Mortal Kombat because it was just clay. Like you see this guy here, he looks like Gumby. You know, this was like that representation of like the Christmas specials was the snowman who was a total badass in the game. You had Ichabod Clay right here, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jack Helga, like they had a little bit of everything, and they only made a handful of these. They made like 2 of them for Super Nintendo and Sega, and then later they did another one on like the N64, and I think somebody was trying to bring it back years later. I always wanted to see them do more of this game because this was cool as hell. And like you'd hit them and they'd like turn into a puddle. And then like, you know, they'd form back up or whatever like that because they were just totally clay. But it was called Clay Fighter.
I totally missed that. Like, I mean, it looks a little familiar, the images. The Elvis guy with his hair, but I don't know. It's like
his hair goes like crazy and extends and like beats you and stuff like
that's
that.
cool.
It's just nuts. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's such a fun game. So sorry to take over the screen share there, but that was like one of those things that existed in the 90s that was just neat.
I love that. I just got another image here. I love these lock, shock, and barrel.
The trick-or-treaters are awesome.
Yep. And Wallace and Gromit was sort of like paralleling this in a lot of ways. You know, this British guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but you know, they were doing shorts, and he just blew up, and was doing commercials for a while, and
I didn't even know about Wallace and Gromit at first. It was like a couple of years after they had come out that I found out about them, which was crazy because like so many other people knew about them. I was like, what? How did I not know about this? But they're fantastic.
I love it. And it's traditional clay animation too.
Right.
No rubber puppets here. Yeah. All clay on armatures.
It was Nick Park created them.
Nick Park. Yeah, that's right. Great stuff. You know, this is, you know, a lot of this stuff is happening at the same time as computer animation is growing in popularity. People are still wanting stop motion animation, and you know, this is James and the Giant Peach, which is the same, I believe, the same animator who Henry Selick, who did.
Yeah, it was the same director. Yeah,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
and you know, people were gobbling it up.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad that movie isn't completely stop motion, though. I don't believe. I think it's got some live action as well, doesn't it?
It
has
does,
some live
because there was
action.
like a transition to the
Yeah.
Peach
Yeah.
stuff. So
I never saw the whole thing.
Yeah, Eldor's getting on the Wallace and Gromit boat here. Yeah.
Have you guys
For
ever,
sure.
since you're talking about clay animation, I don't know if you put that up there or not, but Pingu, did you ever watch Pingu?
Oh yes, thank you. I love Pingu. Woo!
Yeah, it's great,
I
huh?
love Pingu. Oh man, why didn't I think of that? I had all afternoon, so I didn't think of it. But yeah,
I love when he
Pingu.
yells at you. He's like, brr, brr, brr.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah,
makes those little
exactly.
noises. It's hilarious.
Pingu
I think it's made in
is
Sweden, right?
yes, and it's, you know, similar to Mr. Bean, where you don't need words. Like this
Right.
could just appeal to anybody from any
Yep.
country. Pingu is like on point.
Yes.
Thank you, Bobby.
It's for all ages. It's
Yeah.
adults can love it
Yeah.
as well. It's great. I love it.
Everybody,
actually, it's a
Go
little
watch-
funnier when you're an adult. Like as
Yeah.
a kid, it's just fun, but for it to really, really come off completely, I think you got to be more of an adult to get it. But
Yeah, Pingu is awesome.
oh, it's great. It's great stuff. Definitely go watch that on YouTube, folks, if you haven't seen Pingu.
If you have Prime, it's on Prime too.
Oh, cool. And that takes us into a bunch of other movies, you know,
Leica Studios.
Leica
Yeah.
Studios, who Justin has worked for before.
Yep.
Yeah,
Coraline's awesome.
Coraline is a masterpiece.
So is Paranorman.
We're gonna get to Paranorman. Oh, I got some Robot Chicken here,
Oh, there you go.
which is
you can't
which is
forget
great.
Robot Chicken.
Can't forget Robot Chicken. Love that. Seth Green really I feel like he's able to give us everything that we want to see with our toys.
I never seen too many episodes of Robot Chicken, but there was one where Chewbacca was acting like the Fonz, and he went to comb his hair. He's like, "Ugh," you know, it's like, hey, I thought that was hilarious.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
So you can find there is a if you type in Masters of the Universe Robot Chicken, you'll get a couple of playlists of just the Masters episodes that are really, really great. And I'm gonna go. Can you go back to Adam's comment about Mars Attacks? I'm just gonna say, I'm not trying to school you, Adam, but one of my biggest complaints about Mars Attacks is that it's, for the most part, it's computer animated. And I would have preferred, when that movie came out, I was like, why didn't Tim Burton go with stop motion animation?
Full stop motion for the whole thing.
I mean,
right?
it would have made those aliens so cool.
I still like the movie, though. I think
it's still good.
It's a great movie. Yes, I'm with you on that, Bobby and Oz. It is a great movie. Yes, and before Robot Chicken Celebrity Deathmatch. Yes, for sure.
Hysterical.
Yeah. Henry Selick also did some sequences in The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou by Wes Anderson. I love those oddball undersea creatures in that movie. And those are all stop motion. And that takes us to Frankenweenie. All right, real quick question: stop motion animated Frankenweenie or live action short Frankenweenie?
Oh, the stop motion one.
Stop motion, hands down. There's no comparison. No contest whatsoever.
Yeah,
I love Tim Burton. I love that one. Sucks.
Yeah, this guy from the Igor friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another great one from Tim Burton is that short Vincent. Did you ever see that one?
Oh yeah, definitely. Shoot, that's stop motion also. I forgot that too.
That's a great one.
Dang.
Vincent Price.
But yeah, I want a T-shirt of this character.
I'm sure you can find something somewhere.
I'm sure it's on T Public.
Yeah, somebody.
And there's our pal Justin working on Paranorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Paranorman. It's such a great Halloween thing for kids. I love it.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's really one of the I avoided it. To be
Did you
honest,
really?
I avoided it for a long time because I was like, how is that going to be good? And it wasn't advertised in a way that made me want to watch it. And then I was working at a video store at the time, and I finally rented it, and I was like, oh my God, this is everything. This is everything I want to see in a kid's Halloween movie.
That's what I thought when I saw the previews, and I took my son to go see it, and I walked out of the theater just like, my God, that was fantastic. So
yeah,
we need more stuff like this for kids for Halloween.
Yes. And it was the first time where the stop motion object or the doll looked like you always feel like you can touch them, but also it looked like there was depth to the doll. Like you could see light through Norman's ears as we see here, which I think is so cool. That's there's a very organic quality to the dolls.
It's a great story too.
Yeah. Ace, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. That's a good one too. And here's some Leica characters. Leica Studios is up. I believe it's up near Portland, and it's still kind of a small studio. And
the movie Box Trolls is really good too.
Oh, that was a really fun one.
Dang it! Yeah.
And what's the other one? Kubo and the Two Strings.
I got an image of that.
So artistic, that Kubo.
Yeah.
Oops. Kubo.
There.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah, that's so cool. And the guy in the back, I can't remember the name of that character. He looks like a cross between Clawful and
he's like one of those
Ram
Beatles or something.
Yep. So back to this now. Then Fantastic Mr. Fox comes out, and I love this one too because I could see that the choice to use real fur as opposed to the rubber fur from Wind in the Willows, likens back to the Jan Svankmajer using using real taxidermied animals. But
what do you think?
Being cute.
What do you think though? See, what turned me off on this one is when you see the fur move. It's done on purpose. And like back in the day where you see things move, like on Reagan and Bass or something, it's accidents.
Yeah,
that's more done on purpose. To me, that seems too fake.
Well, it's almost like, Wes Anderson's kind of funny, and like that everything he does is an homage to something.
Yeah.
And so to me, I feel like he decided to do that because he knew he wanted to have it because he liked seeing that and other things. And I don't know if that's the right. I'm not going to say one way or the other because I really don't mind it, but I don't know if that's the right approach.
Yeah,
right.
But I love this movie.
Over the top, though.
I think I don't mind it so much, and I think this movie is a really good movie.
I avoided it. I didn't want to see it. I couldn't go past the commercials.
Really?
Oh yeah, you should watch. Yeah. You should watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I just thought of old King Kong. I thought of the Rankin Bass. I mean, just a weird fur it would move, and I was like, oh man, it's like now they're doing it on purpose.
You should definitely see it one of these days when you have a Sunday afternoon. Watch it. It's a fairly short movie too.
I think Sunday afternoons only come around like once every 3 months or so, right?
That's right. That's how it feels, heard. Right? Hey, Brick, good to see you.
Hey.
Hope you're feeling better too, brother.
Just stare at that photo, Brick.
Yeah.
Look into those eyes.
Yeah, some I've seen a couple of those. Adam,
some of them they use a toy and then they use a computer program to kind of animate stop motion without it actually being stop motion. For some of those, not all of those are actual stop motion.
Right.
But still, either way, it's really cool to see because it is, puppeteering the toys. And I like that. And we have a lot of amateur stop motion people right here in the audience, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Eldor does quite a bit of stop motion. I know Bud, he's gotten into some stop motion as well.
Bobby should watch Isle of Dogs as a gateway film to Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Good call because it's a bit short.
A good afternoon. It's a good movie. I kind of prefer Fantastic Mr. Fox to Isle of Dogs, but yeah, they're both good. And this is another Wes Anderson movie. He just loves his miniatures and this stop motion. I just wanted to include this because I love the stop motion doll of Willem Dafoe on skis. I just love this little guy. I want a toy of this. With little like macaroni arms.
Right.
Yeah. And there's Kubo, which of course is great as well.
Such a good movie.
I think Justin worked on that too.
I believe so.
This one I happened upon on Disney Plus. It's
I've never seen this. Is this like something new?
It looks like
it is. I think it's a couple years old, and the Huey, Dewey, and Louie go to the Haunted Mansion or something like that. And I happened on this during my research. I haven't gone and watched it yet. So this is kind of like a goal of mine to watch this because it looks like it's got a little CGI, but then some stop motion elements as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm wondering if it's CGI or stop motion because, there's some films out there that they just went CGI with in a lot of ways, like we were kind of talking about, that I think would have benefited from being more stop motion than actual CGI.
If anybody in the chat, since this is new to me this afternoon, seeing it for the first time, if anybody in the chat has seen this, and if you can recommend it, let us know, and let us know if it is actually stop motion or if it's CGI or if it's a combination of both.
Right.
I want to go back to Ace's comment here. Yes, there needs to be Willem Dafoe action figures. Seriously, from every movie where Willem Dafoe has appeared, there should be an action figure. I am in total agreement.
You can get some head sculpts from some of the newer Marvel Legends, but then it's only that one face for Willem Dafoe. I'd love to have Willem Dafoe from the Boondock Saints as an action figure.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every time he's appeared in a movie. When he played the actor who played Nosferatu as Shadow of the Vampire. He played.
Oh man,
he played the. Yeah. Oh, I got it. He played that character, and that's just masterful. And then I don't know if you've all seen The Lighthouse, but holy crap, that's.
I have not seen that yet, but I do really want to see it. Now, there's like this musical or something like that he was in where he plays like this post-apocalyptic like greaser. Oh man, I cannot.
That's amazing.
Oh my god, it's crazy too. Like, greaser. And if you see him in this movie,
Pony Boy.
Yeah.
You're like, shit yourself.
Pony Boy. Yeah,
I'm trying to look it up now so that way I can pull up.
Oh, Ace said Streets of Fire.
That's it. Yes. Thank you, Ace.
Thank you, Ace.
All right, hold on a sec.
This is Del Toro's, right?
And this is Del Toro's Pinocchio. I believe, 99% sure Justin worked on this too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this yet. Have you guys seen this?
No, I have not.
No, I have not seen it, but it looks amazing and it keeps calling to me. I don't know why I have not watched it yet.
I love Guillermo del Toro, so I'm sure it's good. And the
Character designs look great.
The character designs are amazing.
I like that Pinocchio's like wood. You know, he's not cartoony looking.
Right.
Yeah, he's like a little clump of sticks. He's great.
All right, you guys will never see Willem Dafoe as epic as he is in Streets of Fire, by the way.
Okay.
Well, we need an action figure of that. I've seen images. It is epic. Yeah.
I was gonna say here, I'll bless everybody with this image. This is like right up there with Zardoz Sean Connery.
I was just gonna say Zardoz. Yes, we need a Zardoz action figure of Sean Connery with the likeness, please, and we need this Willem Dafoe. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't know who thought everybody in post-apocalyptic worlds needs to dress up in skimpy leather, but okay, let's go for it.
Because what else? What
look at Road Warriors.
Point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
we need a whole slew of action figures from the Mad Max films too.
Yeah, I used to have some, but I sold them all. They did come out with some Mad Max figures back in the day. They were pretty cool.
Was that
like you got to figure like they would have been perfect 3 3/4 stuff, so you do all the trucks and vehicles and everything like that.
Who is the crazy guy who also showed up in? He's an Australian actor. He played basically the same character in Weird Science. Yeah. I want an action figure of that guy.
Yeah, I had one of him. I sold it.
Oh, man.
But it was good, but it's not like it wasn't perfect figure either.
So it exists.
Yeah, they're out there. Pretty affordable too.
Cool.
Yeah, they had a whole line of them. They had a bunch of them.
I don't know if I can bring a guy with assless chaps into the household anytime soon, but
you could get the Golden Boy too.
One of these days.
It comes with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. No, Wes is great, and he's also great in Commando. You know,
right?
He plays one of the villains. Oh man, that actor! I should do a little deep dive and find out what happened to that guy because he was cool.
He's old now.
Well, yeah.
He's in his, I think, 80s.
If he's still around, I don't know if he's still around.
Because he was like in his 40s back then, I think.
Yeah.
Brick was mentioning that
Dreadnoks.
D13 needs to make a Willem Dafoe as Jesus.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, I mean, he did the
Last Temptation.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I kept wanting to say Jesus Christ Superstar, but I knew that wasn't it. But yeah, he did that in there, and he was beautiful in that. And Biblical Adventures is all about doing some historically accurate, as historically accurate as we can get on something that.
There's at least Biblical Adventures should give us a Willem Dafoe alternate head,
right? I'd be down for it.
Oh man, with a Jim Caviezel alternate head as well, like Jesus with alternate heads.
I'd love it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brick was asking if we went over Gumby, and we did talk about Gumby earlier.
We did.
There's no reason we can't talk about Gumby.
Oh, Brick something says Davy and Goliath. Dang it, I forgot that too.
Oh man!
So I couldn't get everything, folks, but I got
there's too much.
Got as much as I could get, and that leads us to where we are now with Justin's Masters of the Universe stop motion shorts, which are really quite good, and get to see your toys in action, which is cool. And the only way to do it is with stop motion, in my opinion.
Right? I love showing off like that early little short that he made that was basically a commercial for Origins. I love bringing it up. I love showing it off on, whenever I can. That just like, go to Stump Puppet Pictures on YouTube and you can watch this. And that's like, those are the commercials that would be selling the toys, stuff like that. Like Here's dad excited for this. Then mom comes in and sees it. She wants to play it. And the whole time, kid's just looking over, like, hey,
Yeah,
that kind of looks fun. And then the kid jumps in. Like, come on, right?
yeah. I want to see other toy. I know other toy lines are doing this a little bit, and I think that's cool. I think it's the best way to advertise toys. Show them in action. Every toy company should be doing this. Very cool. Stop motion forever. That's right.
Yeah, there's
Thank you,
a
Adam.
1954 movie of Hansel and Gretel that's stop motion. I don't know if you ever seen that.
I have
Oh,
not, but that sounds kind of terrifying too.
It is. The Witch is really cool. It's a musical too, so it's got some music. I used to watch it a lot when I was little. It was always on TV all the time. But do yourself a favor and look that one up.
Yeah.
I believe it's from RKO Pictures.
Oh wow.
Hansel and Gretel.
I will definitely. And do
Yeah.
yourself a favor and watch some Jan Svankmajer. It's gonna
Okay.
give you nightmares.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, definitely. Doing this research this afternoon for today made me really want a dedicated shelf for stop motion films. I have some in the collection, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's probably not available out there. And
Right.
so I used to have Mad Monster Party on VHS.
I got the DVD. Yeah.
You do?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
At least
I
it
do.
did come
Yeah.
out on DVD.
Yeah, I have the DVD. I believe you can. You might be able to get it on Blu-ray too, but I bought it when it first came out on DVD. But,
yeah, I want to get that one on Blu-ray if I can.
Yeah. Well, what's your which Rankin and Bass holiday shows do you like the most?
Well, for me, the top one is Rudolph,
Okay.
the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the rest of them are good, but nothing quite does that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's got more magic to it, I think.
yeah.
I do like the Year Without a Santa
Oh yeah.
with the Miser Brothers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did a new one too. What, 20 years ago? Been already? The
Oh
Miser
really?
Brothers. Yeah, you didn't see that, the new Miser Brother
No.
one? Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta check that out.
I gotta watch that. I had no idea. I didn't know they
Yeah,
did anything.
I think it's
recent.
Miser Brothers Christmas or something it's called. And
Oh,
it's
that's so
new,
cool.
but it looks fantastic, and they got all kinds of different characters in there now too. Like the
All right, I'm gonna say
North Winds. It's cool.
Nice.
that's cool. I'm definitely gonna be looking that up too. Hansel and
Yeah.
Gretel and the newer Miser Brothers movie.
Yeah. Did you see the was it the Adventures of Santa Claus? I think it's called. It's Rankin and Bass.
Yes. Yes.
And that's like the Lord of the Rings and all that shit. It's
Right.
Yeah, I didn't. It's good, but I don't ever return to it. I've seen it.
Yeah,
once
it's
and
kind of boring,
kinda-
but there is some
yeah.
cool characters, and they're like those. I don't know what orcs, I guess you would call them, but they're those guys are pretty neat looking. I always like that stuff. I always like
Yeah.
the characters, to watch.
Me
the
too.
characters. And then that one of the what was that, the Irish one? What is the Irish one called? Oh man, it's
I
that,
have it right over there. We have like that box set. of
Yeah,
Rankin
yeah,
Bass. It's right over there.
it's a shorter one. It's
Mhm.
where they go to the island and you see that water witch. That water witch is really cool.
What is it called?
I can't remember.
I'm gonna look it up. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask a controversial question.
Okay.
Stop motion, Rankin Bass stop motion or Rankin Bass 2D animated?
I would go to stop motion all the way.
All the way, right? I just
Yeah.
their 2D animated films don't quite do it for me.
Hobbit's not that great.
But I still like them though. It's hard to.
Well, okay, let's do this then. Would you rather watch Frosty the Snowman cartoon, or would you rather watch Jack Frost, the stop motion? I'm talking Frosty the
Yeah.
Snowman Part 2 because the Jack Frost is in that one.
Right.
Yeah, the Jack Frost stop motion.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just. I just found it
with the Knights.
That's right. And I love the Frosty the Snowman cartoon. I do. But
I'm soured on that one. I've seen it so many times, but there's this movie. It's called Microwave Massacre. And the guy who does the voice for Frosty the Snowman's the main character in there. And it's just like the worst horror movie you can watch. But you hear Frosty the Snowman the whole time, and it's just it's awful. Oh my god, yeah. Microwave Massacre.
Well, that's another thing. You're giving me a whole list of things to watch.
No, you don't want to watch that.
I like to watch the things that are not.
It might be up your alley. You might like it because it's kind of like in the realms of maybe Toxic Avenger, like that weird type of shit, you know, like goofy stuff.
All right, so I just discovered. I can't figure out. There's a website called The Enchanted World of Frankenbass.
It's actually just this fish that's been pieced together from other fish.
Frankenbass. And I don't have time to do all the research, but I did see some images that is it called the Daydreamer?
No.
Okay, there's a crazy looking one that they made called the Daydreamer. It's Hans Christian Andersen actually. So that
those ones, yeah.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I can't find it right now. The Water Witch. Leprechauns. The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Found
Christmas
it.
Gold. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That one's adorable.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go deep on. Now I'm going deep on Rankin Bass. I got to. Now,
Pinocchio's Christmas. Did you ever see that?
Did you already? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you already show this comment, Oz from Brick? Dan Larson's Secret Galaxy has a great Rankin Bass episode. I'll have to watch that too.
Rhythm and Blues episode.
Yes, I can imagine Dan Larson going down that path. But Dan Larson's Secret Galaxy is Dan Larson's Secret Galaxy is a really great show. I like to watch that on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Did you? Were you going to say something more? I feel like we're talking over each other, Oz.
Yeah, his histories, like, I mean, pretty much, I'm sure everybody who's subscribed to us has checked out their stuff, but Secret Galaxy's histories, like, I've learned a lot about things that I didn't know, which I thought was really cool because. A lot of the stuff, like, I kind of know bits and pieces of, but, like, he's managed to fill in some of the gaps. And I love watching good history stuff, like seeing his stuff. And, of course, watching our boy Ken from Toy Connections do some histories. And then Ed's Retro Geek Out, too. Like, that's another really
good one. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of history, Adam's Battle Ram blog showed up on the History Channel recently.
Oh, yeah.
Sure did.
Cool.
Got a big plug.
Yeah, got a plug. Very cool.
Yeah. He deserves it though. He's worked his ass off on that thing.
Right.
It's like we were talking about, like the bands earlier. You can't become popular overnight, but he's spent a lot of time working on that, and now he's getting his due rewards.
It's really finding a niche for yourself, and digging in and dedicating yourself to it for a long period of time. Otherwise, it's just. The difference between a passion and a hobby,
right?
And that's the only way to know that is over. If years and years go by and you're doing the same thing, and that's so cool. He deserves all that recognition.
Yep. That's amazing.
Yeah. So. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, we've got some time still.
That's why questions. I was trying to fill up some of the time with you guys.
Oh yeah. I thought you were just like, I got like you're thinking about the slides, and you're like, what was missed?
No, I mean that too, but I was trying to
Yeah.
get some conversation going with more of the holiday themed episodes.
Yeah, that's smart. It's a Broman's asking a good question. Are you ready? Are we ready for Christmas?
I guess. So.
I think so. Yeah. It's
No.
been like it's been intense. I mean, Oz, you and I went. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I got to finally hang out with Oz in person when I was in DC couple weeks ago, and we went to this freaking amazing toy shop in the DC metro area.
Lost in Time Toys. And
Lost
that's
in Time Toys.
Walking through their doors was like that. You got lost in time.
Yeah, it was. And not only that, but the prices were on point. I mean, I passed on a $15 vintage Yoda in really good shape, only missing his snake and his staff or his cane. He had his, little his cloak
Soft
and his
goods
belt.
were there.
Yeah, soft goods were there. And $15. And he was in really good shape. And anyways, the reason I'm bringing that up, Broman, is because, one of the worst times to go to an amazing toy store like that is right before Christmas. And I'm thinking, I got to get something for the kids to take home to them from DC. I can't be buying,
can't spend all this money on these toys.
There were things there that I was like really drooling over. That was just like my heart was like.
I'll be honest. I was getting kind of sad when I was watching that because you guys are drooling over like some of the Masters stuff and things like that. Like you really want this. I'm like, I have this. I have the perfect condition one. I was like, I just want to like hand it to you guys.
No.
You preserve that in your collection. You are our curator of the perfect vintage.
Come on,
Masters.
I just felt bad. I'm like, I've had this stuff for years. I'm like, well, maybe you guys can enjoy it.
Yeah. No. I mean, this is something you got to hold on to. That it's.
You worked your ass off to get a complete.
I know.
Masters
and that's just me, though. I want to see you guys enjoy it as well.
Well, the video did its job. Then it gave you feelings, and that's good. Because
what gave me feelings like these two bastards are out there having a fun time, and I'm sitting there sick of COVID.
I will tell you right now. I wish that you had been there. I wish that Sean had been there, and I wish that Adam had been there too. Because, I mean. And having Oz there was like awesome, of course. And Ziggy was there too, and meeting Ziggy was fantastic too. But next time we were able to do something like that, let's try and make it work so we could all be there. But
that would be the best way, of course. Like, honestly, it was like 20 minutes of me and Skelly hugging when we first met up. So I can only imagine what it'll be like when all of us are meeting. Because
hugging you for 20 minutes. Wow.
That was me. I wasn't willing to let go.
That was very emotional. Very emotional.
But yeah, it was really great. It was really great to see him and see those guys and do that. And just yes, bro, man, I'm ready for Christmas, but that's partially because I didn't spend any money on myself over there shopping for that stuff.
So tough too. Like we found that the blaster hog, like, and it was both parts that we found. It was like $3. It was like I want it, but where the hell am I putting this huge ass vintage toy?
Oh my god! I saw that for $3. It's probably like $6 because it was two parts, right? But
I would have walked in there with it as one piece and been like, "This was in the $3."
Yeah,
but then it's going to cost you like $60 to find the other pieces. Each.
It will.
I know, right?
Individual piece is like $60 to
That's
$50.
why I always try to find them together.
Right, because that's always going to be cheaper than parting it out these days.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had a lot of stuff like. Honestly, there wasn't enough time to really film and give you guys the full tour that he deserves. We're talking so much vintage, brand new inbox with decent shape box too,
Right.
like not like water damaged or anything like that. Like we're talking, where the hell was this sitting for all these years?
I gotta say it again, like those boxed items were priced correctly, but also on the low end.
Yeah.
Like just like I was like, you gotta be kidding me. If these things going for double that on eBay.
Yeah, see, there's a store in Arizona
Right.
that I went to, and it's an amazing store. I mean, they got everything vintage that you can want, but they're on on the high end prices. I mean, everything's high end pricing.
Yeah, I've been to those stores too.
Yeah,
he has it to the point where like you walk in there and you could walk out with something, like if you've got the dough for it. And again, if you're watching these markets, if you're seeing what they're like on eBay, it's never going to be as high as what you're going to find this on eBay for. Like, and that was the really cool, incredible part of it too. I mean, man, he had like some of the Alien Kenner vehicle stuff, like brand new inbox still. He had vintage Star Wars, brand new inbox, like totally sealed. Just amazing.
Star Wars prices has gone through the roof, though. It's amazing.
They really have. They really have.
Well, especially since they started doing the retro collection stuff, because it matches perfectly with the original, collection.
Yeah, because like I have all the vintage figures. I have all the backing cards with them as well. They're all opened, but they're
right. But still, just having the card backs.
And I have most of the first. Was it the first 12? Right, first 12.
Yeah,
I actually have the 12 back cards.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but
See, that's the type of thing you want to hold on to.
I don't. Like, well, those are all from my childhood. I didn't buy those. I've had all that since I was a kid.
Crap!
So that's why they're a little bit. That's why they're more special to me. Yeah, they're all childhood figures and stuff. Yeah.
I put that comment up. I wanted to get to it eventually, but the Broman is saying I got some great Target finds for great prices. Right? Yes, that's another dilemma too. Like if you're a collector and you see Masterverse figures showing up for $650 or whatever they are, it's hard to resist. But I want to say I did run into a Battle Armor HeMan for $6.95 or something like that, and I was like, I didn't get it. It's just not. It's not an amazing figure, and so. And honestly though, I would have had a hard time resisting. If I'd seen Clawful there for like $9, like I was seeing him for, I may have had a hard time resisting Clawful because he's an amazing figure, and I already have him. But I just there are some good deals out there, but this goes back to your original statement, which was, "Are you ready for Christmas?" It's like. I'm thinking about the family and making sure everybody's got the gifts that they were looking for. And what was that one that you had up there, Oz?
Duchess brought up that he had nicest figures sealed.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yep. Like, I mean, the amount of cool stuff he had still brand new in package was incredible.
Oh man, Matthew Rodriguez of Defenders of Eden is a big fan of the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves action figure line, and seeing those two figures there,
the Gamorrean Guard,
the Gamorrean Guard. That's right. I just was like, oh, that's so cool. There were just a lot of good things. If I had walked in there. And this is a compliment to that store. If I'd walked in there with $100 bill, I could have walked out of there with some magic, some real magic, and it would have been amazing. So yeah,
we'll have to make it a top spot to hit if we can get everybody over here. We'll make it a top store to hit.
Kenzo got another Clawful. That's awesome.
That's great. It's funny. I was all in on the new Eternia stuff, and the last new Eternia figure I picked up was the Whiplash. But honestly, I've just been kind of, as this year has gone on, I still love Masters Universe and everything like that, but I've just been less eccentric about buying it or less enthusiastic about buying it. I don't know. Just I've gotten a bit of fatigue from Mattel lately, and it's become more of a pain in my ass to collect it than the enjoyment that I get from it.
But then they'll collect it then, yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've done. I've just kind of, at this point, there's like a couple of things from Mattel Creations that are going to be coming down the line that I'm going to go after. I really, really want to get like Cyclone, like again, some of those. I want to try to get some more of the Snake Men, but like even then they already announced like 2 of the upcoming Snake Men figures. Well, they did say those were fan channel exclusives. Like again, some more of that Axel and Menez prototype stuff. And just because I like the snakes, I'm going to go for those. But that'll be fan channel. So that'll be like BBTS or Entertainment Earth. I can pick those up. So that's not going to be too bad. But honestly, I haven't been enjoying it. So like I've dialed back completely on Masters Universe. And he's right. I've got the 4 Horsemen bug because you know what? I don't have trouble going out and hunting down ones that I want. You know, it's just not hard. Ooh.
Collect what you love, what's making you happy. You know, don't collect just to collect.
Yeah, that's
exactly
100%. And that's actually turning into sort of a philosophy that we preach on this show, which is, you know, if you're not getting joy out of what you're collecting, then rethink what you're doing.
Right.
It's got to give you joy.
If it's causing you anxiety or stress,
that's
stop.
The worst. Yeah. But you hear it too often, you know, like my wallet's taking a hit. You know, how am I going to get these? It's so much to get, but I got to get it anyway. And it's like, no, you don't. You know,
I mean, some folks, I mean, we live in an era where there's stuff that you buy one figure and your wallet takes a hit. So, you know, Mondo figures, you know, if you're all in on Mondo, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you. Unless you have that money. But, you know, it's like I'm all about the vintage line because it's what I grew up with. And if a Origins figure comes along that gives me the feels, or if a Masterverse comes along that gives me the feels, I'm going to go for it. But if it doesn't give me the feels, then I don't see a need to spend that money.
That's why I'm glad I didn't get into a lot of the Masterverse stuff. I just didn't want it at the time, and I'm glad I just didn't buy it just to buy it.
I think that's I agree with you on that, and I think also this sort of that kind of thinking is probably why I haven't got the 4 Horsemen bug like other folks have gotten. It's not, for some reason, I feel like I'm mostly driven by the accessing that kind of nostalgia when I'm buying figures. That's why, you know, when Oz sent me the Mythics Manny Faces homage, it gives me the feels, right? But and the one that gives me the feels too is the Headless Horseman, because I love the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I love that Disney short, you know, and seeing that figure really gives me the feels. And I love the Sleepy Hollow movie with Christopher Walken and Johnny Depp. But so those are the ones that are hard for me to resist. Is the ones that
I hear that,
and
they were the ones I couldn't resist.
And then I hold the Zodak, the vintage Zodak in my hand. It's in really great shape, and he's like $20 at that store that we were at, Lost in Time Toys. And I think, okay, for some reason that is doing everything for me. As opposed to it's kind of a good, you know, good feeling from this. I'll give you an example. Like this, as far as new stuff goes, this does everything for me.
He's cool.
This is magic right here. I don't even know. Bobby, you and I were talking about drooling over the big one.
Yeah,
I don't need that. This thing's amazing. Look at that little monocle.
Yeah.
And I love that they give it that vintage vinyl cape look too, right?
Yeah, it just does everything for me.
My favorite puppet of all time is the Count.
He's fantastic. And then like that, that's why, sorry, Oz, I'm gonna do it. That's why that figure is worth $20 to me.
Sure, it is.
It does everything. It does everything for me.
I just complain about that because it's like people buy it like Pops, where they have to have every single one.
Oh yeah.
So now you're spending 20 out of all of it.
I do not agree with that at all. I mean, even Pops, it's like $11.99. People, come on, that's a lot of money if you got to get every one.
Well, because I think a lot of people get into it because they look at the original ones that are worth so much money that they buy them now thinking that they're going to sit on a gold mine later on,
Well, yeah, and they're not going to be worth any money. It's just really going to be, and honestly, look what it took to get the vintage Star Wars stuff to those kind of prices too, right?
Yep.
I will say this:
because for a while they weren't worth anything.
Yeah.
I will say this: that when the floods come, people with a big collection of Pops are going to be in great shape. You just build a boat out of those things.
Yeah, right.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Once they rip them all out of the cases in the box,
you got to get them out of the cases first.
They're going to take up the cases, but then that's going to weigh them down.
The floods are going to be the tears, right, of them ripping them out of the cases, crying.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't. It's just. I mean, look at these guys.
Kenzo brings up a very great point here too, saying the worst is the ones that buy so they can be first to display them on social media, and imagine the anxiety that you go through to always have to be first.
I know that's what I used to complain about with Twitter and stuff. I posted stuff up there, but I wasn't like I have to be the one that broke the news or be the first one out there. And there's people out there that are like that. Hey, I was the first one. Well, what do you do?
It's cool when you can, if that's like your thing, what you're into,
right?
But to stress about like I've got to go the extra mile to do this and do that to get this before anybody else can. I mean,
I will say this. That if they're doing that because that's what makes them happy, then more power to them. Yeah. If they're doing it just so that they can get views,
I think
then you got to stop doing that, man. You're gonna be broke.
They want to be the one that has the one that has the most retweets of that tweet. To be recognized of who's the first one. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right. And this is what Kenzo's pointing out is that kind of anxiety you get from it, not the person who's like, oh, I managed to get this and I'm like real happy about it, right? Because I don't know if you guys saw on the clubhouse this weekend, this is an O-ring figure, right? This is like a G.I. Joe styled O-ring figure. This is Delta 17. These aren't even available for retail yet, but our good friend Ken from Toy Connections and Steve at Delta 17 was awesome enough to help me acquire a couple of these and just check them out. And I was able to open them up. We debuted them on Aaron's channel. I mean, these things are great. They're neat. Getting this firsthand look at them before they're available for retail is really cool. But it's not like, oh my God, I've got to get these. I've got to have them kind of thing, like early before everybody else, right? Like it was cool because it was an opportunity that I had.
Yeah, that gives you joy, right? It's different. It's a different experience than you ordered it from a retailer that's charging you double just so you can have it early.
Right, exactly.
And only because you need to show it early. And I don't, so, I mean, and then also, but also just, I'm going to preach a little bit. Also, folks, if you're getting angry over this stuff, you've got to rethink your whole game.
Yeah.
Why are you getting angry about this stuff?
Yeah.
There's
that comment.
Nothing to be angry about.
right?
Nothing to get angry about.
All this stuff is supposed to be
for
fun.
fun. This is supposed to be fun, and this is and hopefully we're doing a good job of, even when we complain, we're able to laugh about it and have fun.
Yeah.
And we got Eternian Royalty here. Where did they go?
That's right. What's up, Mike?
Finally able to be here. Awesome. Great to see you here. But yeah.
Did you see that?
Wait, what?
Nothing. It's. I think it's a dig on somebody.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
It might be.
I will say there are a lot of folks out there. There are a lot of folks out there that get angry about this stuff, and if you watch YouTube, or if you are in part of the community, you probably know who some of those folks are. And I just feel for them, because I don't want them to continue, living an unhappy existence. I want them eventually to figure out, like, oh, there's more. There's more to life than just this stuff.
It's amazing how you could cocoon yourself into that shit, and think that it's the most important thing in the world, and it's really not. It's amazing.
I think it's important to just to remember that it's fun, and I also have a hard time hating on folks that get really caught up in it, because I understand why they're getting caught up in it a little bit, because it can be exhilarating to be at the forefront of something, and that can be addicting, and so then it's just bad,
because I got caught up on Twitter for a while, where I was the one everybody was looking forward to me breaking the news on a lot of shit.
Yeah,
right.
And it was just, I got into it, and I was like, oh, I got to get this. I had to really research and make sure, everybody gets everything. And now it's just,
Well, and that's the other thing.
I deleted my Twitter account off my phone, so I don't even use Twitter no more.
Right. And I mean, it's so crazy. You were saying, Bobby, people get mad at you for not, posting master stuff. Like, come on, people.
Yeah. I still got like 3,600 and something people that follow me, and I don't even have the app on my phone anymore. I can care less.
It's your ex now, right?
Let its own life. Let it live its own life. Yeah. If you love something, let it go. Right. If you love someone, let them go. But yeah,
if it comes back, it's because it's trying to charge you $8 to be verified.
Oh yeah. I've never been on Twitter, so this whole dilemma is like, I feel for folks.
I had just gotten on Twitter, and I never really quite caught the hang of it. And then as things started to change, I was like, oh, let me just go ahead and keep staying where I belong.
Yeah, it's kind of tanked, it's well, it's not as fun anymore as it used to be.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not providing what I used to provide, and no one cares anymore. I'll put something up there, and no one gives a shit. So.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, why do you want all this hounding, right?
Yeah, it's true. That's what you would get. Where'd you get it from? Where? All that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
hungry for. Yeah. KB Toys. Just always respond with that. KB Toys. That's awesome.
Joe's got it right.
Is he going back in time? That's amazing.
That would be the way to
Wait a minute. Is Eternian Royalty saying that there's a KB Toys that he's actually able to go to? Because that would be amazing. Or is he joking?
No, he's just joking about that. I mean,
I love it. Either way, I love it.
It's like when I was at, working at Walmart, and people would ask me where stuff was at, and I would always direct them to the McDonald's at the front of the store, just tell them someplace where they completely can't get it. See, awesome. Kenzo's got another good one. Walgreens.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
I knew it.
Find stuff at Walgreens. And like, to the point where they had a guy for a while who was running it, who realized, like, we need to make exclusive deals. We need to, like, get on the lead on some of this stuff, like where you can get Walgreens exclusives. And it was really smart. They had a collector guy who was in charge of a lot of their stuff, like, because that's not their main focus at a Walgreens, isn't their toys, right? But you go in, you could buy toys. They're sometimes more expensive than they would be if you picked them up at a Walmart. But the funny part is, because nobody's ever looking at Walgreens for toys, like that hard to find Chase figure or something like that you're trying to get, check your Walgreens. They probably got it because nobody goes into the Walgreens looking for toys.
I do know that Walgreens employees do know about all that shit, and they do suck that stuff up themselves.
They will. Yeah, they have. I know they've definitely done it in the past. But I mean, there used to be times where, like, back in my Star Wars hunting days, where we'd go through like a Rite Aid and I'd find like this rare obscure figure that like you couldn't find anywhere else, because again, it was like the one that everybody was looking for. It's just hanging on the shelf at a Rite Aid for like $3 more than it was at Walmart.
Yeah, I've stopped by Walgreens recently, and I kind of missed about 5 years ago. Going to a Walgreens was kind of amazing. There'd be really cool stuff there, and I kind of missed that.
Well, they had the Tron exclusive figures there too.
Tron exclusive figures. We got a lot of our Black Hole. We got a lot of our Nightmare Before Christmas Diamond Select figures in there, which are really cool figures. I got to do a weekly weirdo on that one of these days. Those are great. But yeah,
it's one of the few pop figures I own is actually a Walgreens exclusive. I don't buy. There you go. You can just go get it cheaper from Walmart.
That's right.
But yeah, it's a Venom pop figure that while I was working at GameStop, one of my customers picked up for me because they knew I just loved Venom. So, he was like, "Hey, here's this pop figure." And I was like, "Hey, thank you." Like, I was going to say, I don't collect these, but I just said thank you. And you know what? It's pretty cool to have. Like, I'm not going to say that I don't appreciate it. I look at it and I remember, Brian was his name. I remember him fondly. He used to be in all the time for different Call of Duty games and such.
Hey, a good pop is a good pop. I mean, these guys back here are phenomenal. I mean, the way that those characters look as pops is great, and
those were like perfect for pops, to be honest with you.
Toxic Avenger here, he's great as a pop. I mean, I just think that like human beings don't really look fantastic as pops, and I don't think collecting all pops makes a lot of sense to me. But every once in a while, I know you've all probably heard me say this a bunch of times, but every once in a while, a pop sort of satisfies that itch, and it's kind of cool. I mean,
hey, we were looking for Grimace, right?
We found him, but I didn't get him because of the same.
I was wondering.
The holiday Grimace, though. It was the holiday Grimace. If it was the regular Grimace, would that have done it for you?
I have the regular Grimace, and that's part of the reason why I was okay with letting him go. But I look at that. That's doesn't that really work? That works really well.
It does. It does
for
work
this particular character.
I think it's fucking ugly, but go ahead.
He's not as beautiful. Not as beautiful as the Remco. I will say that he's not.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just teasing you.
It's hard to beat anything, Remco.
Yeah.
But I just you gotta just put the kibosh on some ideas sometime. And if I come across him later on and he's my new favorite place is Five Below for T-shirts and for super discounted weird things. Like that's where I got the.
Do that again. He's like dancing.
I know. That's where I got Speedy for $6.
Oh, neat.
I mean, it's that works, right? Little hamburger, but Five Below, man. Oh yeah, Ace picked up the Cactus Flea Market Grimace.
Yep.
Nice. Love it.
Speaking of cons, like, Comic-Con LA, did you guys see anything cool that you enjoyed from Designer Con?
The Tila, the Mondo Tila looks pretty cool.
I didn't see anything that came out yet.
Yeah, I saw the Mondo Tila and the Orko. The fancy Orko in that set is not doing it for me, but the other elements like the Filmation Orko and the Orko unhooded Orko head is really great.
Like the face reveal Orko.
The face reveal Orko.
They did announce the Evelyn though, right?
Did they? I
see
haven't
that
seen
they announced
anything.
an Evelyn.
I thought I saw like a render of like how they.
Oh yeah, she's been announced, but I just haven't seen a sculpt.
Oh no, not a sculpt. They did show like
they hadn't
a render
sculpted
of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, I did manage to speak with one of the sculptors, specifically the one who worked on Tila.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to get a chance sometime soon to be able to chat with him. Cool. He's going to come talk with us. Now, we're not going to talk about a lot of new stuff coming down the pipeline. I did already discuss that with him. It's going to be stuff that he's already done. But it'll be really cool to be able to speak with him.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he's the same guy who sculpted this.
Oh, cool.
So not only does he do these amazing, huge, 1/6 scale figures, he's also doing little 3 3/4.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, if that can happen, that would be really great. I love talking to people who make stuff and talking about the process.
Yeah.
The process.
That's right. How do you get in the mindset? How do you come up with this design? Like, what influenced you to make it this way, kind of thing?
Right.
And
he's creep into your mind, and will the people like this version type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
He has sculpted favorites of just about all of us here.
Yeah.
So think about your favorite Mondo, and guess what?
Cool.
So I was really, really excited that I had the chance to speak with him, and we hit it off the bat like real quick, just chatting. And he's got some other things that he's got to do up front. Talking about these guys a little bit coming up, but then after that's done, then he said he'd totally be on board to come hang out with us for a night and cool. Chat up the stuff, because that's what I want. Like, there is no better place other than the Frenzy to dive into the mind of somebody so artistic and just amazing, absolutely amazing in the product they look out, because we all have an appreciation here for that artistic mindset. And we've all done some amazing work in some way or fashion, such as this guy right down here, making the most amazing play sets.
Watch out, something's going to drop.
Amazing custom play sets ever. Oh, drop test on the new figure. Hey, hold it.
Well, the reason why I'm being so quiet right now, Oz, is because I don't want to jinx it.
Gas.
I don't want to jinx it. I want to talk to this guy really bad, and I don't want to get people's hopes up either. I'm just like, I hope, and so if he can make it, that'll be really great. And so we try and get folks on here and have them talk about their stuff, and I think that'd be really cool.
We have no definitive date yet, folks, but it's coming.
Yeah. And I'd love to talk to some. Yeah. I just love talking process. I'm already getting excited, so don't get me too excited, Oz.
I'm sorry, Skelly. I didn't mean to tease you that much.
I'm starting to sweat here.
He's getting the shakes.
Mm-hmm. We're at that. Oh, thank you, Eternian Royalty. That's awesome. There might be something coming up here pretty soon that I got. Oh yeah, and I've already teased it. It's already kind of there's a bit of a roller coaster with that whole plan, but there's something happening. So I'm going to start building
that makes me
something.
really happy.
I'm going to start building something here pretty soon, and I'm excited about it. And I'll try and document it on the channel. I don't know, Ace. I haven't heard of that, but we'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, Toys on Tap. I definitely have checked them out a couple times. Listened to a couple of their lives and stuff like that. There's reasons that I don't listen to more, but that's just personal because of me. I still think it's great. If you want to listen to them, though, go for it.
I'll check it out. Sure. And also, while we're on that, you should all go check out Toy Connections as well. He's great. I love his channel.
Ken's histories are just some of the best, and not just like if you want to dive into some 80s toys for some in-depth look at how they came to be, Ken is the man.
Yes, Ken is the man. And also another man, another the man, Thanos. Go over to Thanos's channel and watch his journey in toy photography. It's great. Loving it. I want to also take a moment to acknowledge Ace. So Ace sent me a photo of a blow mold HeMan. I'm sorry, Ace. This has been a crazy week. And the blow mold HeMan is phenomenal. And priced appropriately, actually, a really good price. But if anyone is interested in a blow mold HeMan knockoff is not the right word. What's the word? What's the phrase?
Bootleg.
It's bootleg. Thank you. A blow mold bootleg HeMan. Send me a message and I'll get you connected to Ace. Apparently there's a store near Ace that has these Mexican bootleg. Yes. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm very interested. I just can't afford it right now. Maybe after the holidays. I think it'd be amazing. The Skeletor actually was like calling to me, but it's a little pricey for me. But yeah, that stuff's amazing. It's super weird. Bootlegs just make me a happy boy. So guys,
big so.
What's coming up for you guys? What's on the agenda? What's on your calendars besides, the holidays? What's coming up for you guys?
Well, I already mentioned all my stuff earlier.
Well, yeah, folks got to check out the Decker Northcutt serial on Bobby Dangerously's channel. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, what do you got coming up, Skelly? What's going on with you?
Not much, and I guess I've already talked about it a little bit. I'm going to start a build soon, and that's for sure. And I'm excited about that. And I'm also.
Did someone commission it, or is it just a build that you're just doing?
Yeah, it's a commission,
okay.
And the person who commissioned it prefers to remain anonymous, and but I'm excited to do it, and it's going to be a bit more detailed than previous versions. So
wow.
I'm going to be working on more interiors, and it is going to be a Snake Mountain. And people seem to like the Snake Mountain. I've never gotten a commission for Grayskull, but while I'm doing that, I think I'm going to finally get around to fixing up or adjusting some of the elements that I think deserve to be adjusted on my Grayskull. So I might be doing a little bit of back and forth on those. And then we've got a bonus episode of Cambridge and Washawn coming up right in time for Christmas. And that's going to be launching here pretty soon. On wherever you find your podcasts, you should subscribe to Cambridge and with Sean. We're going to actually be we're going to be going through the previous episodes and talking about anything that we've picked up while Mark and I have, gone down obsession rabbit holes.
Right.
So anything associated with what we've been talking about on that show that we may have indulged, Remco McDonaldland figures not excluded from that. This year's been an exciting journey with that show, and we talk a lot about the stuff that we've picked up along the way. And that'll be fun. That'll be on wherever you find your podcasts on Christmas. I believe on Christmas or the day before. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. But yeah, it's coming. All right, Oz, how about you?
Well, I mean, one of the things I'm going to be doing really soon is going to be doing a bit of a more in-depth review on Shepherd here, and of course, Jaguar. He's kind of their evil enemy assassin figure as well. These guys are just so cool. Like, they've got these backpacks like the old Joe, but they actually serve a purpose. Like, they're tactile. They have function. That's actually something that's really awesome, because most of those backpacks on the old Joes were just kind of aesthetic, So I'm actually going to be recording some reviews, and I'm going to do a short review on each of these guys, kind of talking about the sculpt and everything, and different details of it. So expect that to be coming soon. At some point in time this weekend, we're going to be doing the Clubhouse Hangout, as we all know. I was hoping we were going to get some more of the other figure obscuras that I've picked up and unboxing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are just about ready to finally unbox this guy right here, the Jacob Marley.
You've been waiting patiently, man.
Oh, I've been edging. Well, we got to wait until, everybody gets them. We like to get them together and open them up, because especially when it comes to figure obscura, there's normally like some kind of surprise, right? And we all like that ability to open it up and see what the surprise is with everybody there. And then we still tease everybody who doesn't own one because we don't show it live.
That's horrible. You'd think by now everyone's seen it, right? Hasn't everyone seen it by now?
No, Ed still hasn't seen it yet. I actually ended up coming across it because I took a little too much of a peek into the cabal on Facebook, and somebody had it posted, and I saw what it was, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
But
it's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah. But
it's like you can't spoil certain movies because they've been around long enough.
Right.
I think that's the way it is with toys.
So then we're also going to be doing this weekend, probably going to be unboxing some other holiday favorites, both of the color variants of Father Christmas and Krampus. So that's going to be coming up. And then I think